Okay, James, we're back for episode two. What do you have on your mind for this episode? What do you want to get into?
Well, I want to get into Ti addressing the jail about his son King. Um, I want to address some things I've been talking to my partner about this gang situation and how it's going. It's real ugly out there right now. So let me start off with Ti, and this is just my opinion. Um, his son King been going off just off the the, the hinge, you know. Uh, and I've been watching him for a while. Arguing with his dad, uh, hanging out with the wrong crowd, carrying guns. I mean, he's doing the most. He wants to be this thug, and you know, in our neighborhood, we have some guys that would like had parents that had money, and they still wind up in the hood, wanted to be a part of the gang shit, and same situation with King. Now, here's the thing with King. T.I. done told this young man, you my son, I ain't gonna lose you to the street the whole night. But then here he go, I'm with the business, I'm with it, I'm this and that. And then he explained to him, told him, there's only two ways out of here, son, jail or death. Down he winds up with 5 years in jail. And he apparently he got jumped on. I don't know how true that is. So allegedly got attacked in jail. The little boy is fresh meat, and now his daddy is telling him to telling the court that he want him out of jail because he's been attacked. This is my issue with it. When our kids act like they know everything and want to know everything, it don't matter amount of money you have, you can't save them once they go to jail. And I'm telling you from experience. I got two sons ain't never been handcuffed, but I have a daughter that did time in prison. Didn't want to listen. Uh, she thought she knew everything and wound up in prison. I couldn't bail her out of jail. I couldn't go and get her and say, let her out that door. So what T.I. got to do now is, man, all that smoke his son was talking about, all that I'm a gangster his son was talking about, you got to let him fend for himself. Now it's time for him to grow up and be a man. It's time for him to ball up his fist. I done seen him shadow box and everything else. So he gotta put up his dukes now. He gotta grow up at this point. Anything after the 5 years, come home. I learned my lesson. Now you would have a better understanding of what your father and what your mother was trying to tell you. But there's no way out of this situation right now. So I mean, as a parent, I see where Ti is at. But then on the flip side of being a parent, you made this, you dug this ditch. You got to roll with it. You got to roll with it. There's nothing Ti or Connie can say to get this young man out of jail. Now, if they do and can spend some money in the jails lean this way and let him out of jail, if he can get out of jail right now today, he ain't gonna go right back to his way because he believe his parents got money, and if I get caught up again, I'm gonna get out. He might not. He might follow the rules, but man, as a parent, it ain't much you can do when your kids spiral out and want to live that thug life. These are the consequences of trying to live a thug life. You're going to go to jail at some point. You're going to go to prison at some point, and the young man been caught with pistols, and he acted as if, man, let me out. I don't, he didn't care. So now you looking at reality head on, and daddy is angry. Ain't nothing you could do. Ain't nothing you could do as a parent. You got to let him ride it out and let him be a man. You know, uh, that's pretty much it. You know, I see all these cats going back and forth talking about the kid ain't shit. This social media is way out of hand. I don't think no guy on here, and at the age of these guys talking about mamas and kids and mama and kids, daddies don't have nothing to do with what we talk about or content. They shouldn't be content, but it's a reality. It's a reality. If I was Ti, I wouldn't go back and forth. I wouldn't say nothing to Boosie, Boosie's son in jail. You know, all of these kids are tripping, and they don't think that the law has nothing to do with them. That the law can't touch them, and now they saying that they're wrong. They're wrong. Uh, everybody can go to jail. If you live in that life, you're gonna go to jail. And and it's sad to say at the end of the day, this is what they wind up because they don't want to listen. But you know, good luck to Ti. Good luck to him trying to get his son out. I wouldn't try to get him out. I leave him there. I let him be a man. You want to carry a gun? You got to deal with the consequences. That's the best lesson he could teach him. He make it through this 5 years. He come home, say, I don't want to go to jail no more. And he lived like a rich kid. He lived like a young man. Grow up. You got a kid out here, King, and be a father. Do your thing, but be a father. All that extra, you don't need it. And hopefully he come home and be better. So that's all I got to say about that one. I've been talking to my partner, and we had this long talk. First, I want to give shout out to Reggie. Good looking out. Reggie has been in my corner for a long time. You know, um, I told Reggie the other day he getting the short end of the stick because everybody is painting, not everybody, but people are painting a picture of this mafia, this. Reggie done been on the scene of everybody done been unalived in the last 20 years. Reggie, 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 Reggie. And, for people not to be there and be a witness to it, everybody believes what they want to believe. Whatever they hear, they're going to run with it. Man, shout out to Reggie for keeping his head up and not letting it face, not letting it face. Content and all this other shit and trolling or whatever. I'm not with it. I'm pretty much gonna try to stay old school with my shit. I'm not with all that. So, shout out to Red. I just lost a homegirl on a bike set yesterday. They found her dead in her house. Um, I want to send my condolences to her daughters, her son, to Sin City, um, self-inflicted motorcycle club in Vegas, and everybody that rock with Divi. That was my girl. That was my girl. Um, she asked me to walk her down the aisle when she got married, but she got married in Arizona, and I believe I was somewhere in another state, and I couldn't do it. was at the last. But shout out to her. And now I want to start this one with giving Cartoon from Avalon and his partner that was on the phone when I had this conversation with Cartoon. I talked to him a few weeks back. You know, was trying to give him his props. Well, was giving him his props, and he pretty much had his mind made up. And I want to give shout out to Trey, Tookie son. I talked to him, and and the path he on, I'm trying to get there. Uh, Gave me a lot of advice. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, it's crazy. Looking at these pictures, these videos that people are sending me of these young men, um, laid out on the corner, laid out on that concrete, and it's sad that we're not paying attention to what's really going on. You know, I talked to my boy, and my boy was we on the same page. It was basically like the shit ain't what it used to. It ain't this, it ain't that. And I agree. I asked him a question. Do you think the older guys should step in and do a little more, give a little more, give a better understanding to the youngsters? Basically, it would be hard because, these young guys out here, drinking heavier than we used to, or on that same level. The different drugs, the weed, and all this other shit that they popping, they don't want to hear from the OG. But this is my thing. And to each his own. I'm not telling y'all no damn fools. I'm not saying nothing. This is my opinion. When we get past a certain age in our life, we have to look at it and say it's time for me to grow up. I got a better understanding now. If the street hasn't taught us that it's time to walk away from doing what we're doing, because you're halfway there already. Because for number one, you know, and if you of age, you already know the difference between a gang banger and a gang member. And if you're gang banging, you out there in the streets, you getting in, you doing it. But if you ain't packing that pistol to do what's the word that the ops, or going to put in your BK or CK, man, sit down. It's time for you to stop. Now it's gonna get catchy in a minute, but you know, as older guys, we ain't showing these young guys that we made mistakes. We made mistakes doing what we did and how we live. So all these young cats gotta hear these stories. All these young cats gotta understand. You know, it's a cold thing when you're out here trying to take life, when you're trying to unalive somebody. I learned when I lost my brother and I seen the pain in my mother and my family. And it affected everybody in my family. And I have a pretty big family. And not only my family, friends, um, people that knew him, it affected everybody. And we talking over 100 and some uh, uh, people. So if we take life like that, and then we not just hurt one person, we hurting a lot of people. We hurting the family. And if at some point we gotta get it, we gotta grow up. We gotta grow up and be men. Half of you brothers out there don't even understand what it is. We rocking off culture. We rocking off of what it used to be. We 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 continue to do what we do because we lost a homie 30 years ago. But here you are, only 40. And you can't tell me we can't get past it. Everybody just gotta say we all took a loss. This we done. You don't gotta hang out. This ain't gotta be 1992. I knew that wasn't gonna work long. Whenever there's females, drugs, and alcohol, ain't nothing finna last. So we ain't saying you gotta go and hang in this hood or that hood. Come on, man, find a better way. The majority of us, 90% of us out there, have kids, got grandkids. And we shouldn't be sitting here acting as if we adult adolescents. Like we still rocking with it. Man, we don't have nothing to prove to each other. And my boy made it clear. And you know, I understand. I'm not getting down like that. I'm not doing that. I feel better as a man living the life I'm living now. Living without the chaos, the bullshit, or thinking this guy, I have to do something to him because of color. I'm not rocking like that. But you got a lot of guys out here that going out of state and hanging out with the new hood or these hood they so called they self putting together. You know, and I talked to a few of those guys out of state. You know what I'm saying? And it's a goddamn shame that we as grown men can get on a plane and go um sponsor this type of BS. It's sad. At 65, at 40, and I'm only talking about cats in my neighborhood. I'm not talking about nobody else outside. But if you hear me, let's understand. There's no way we can go outside of our turf and try to create something that failed you. It sent you to prison. You lost, homie. You I mean, we done lost big time. How can we promote and go out of state and promote? Half of these dudes is only doing it, and the cold part about it is they wasn't living like that in their own neighborhood. But we promote gang violence, and we too old for it. If you've been there, and done it, and you at the age we are now, ain't nowhere in the world I can get a kid and sit him down and tell him, little homie. The only way you're gonna be recognized if you do this, you do that. No. Talk to him about going to school, staying in school. Talk to him about playing that football. You see something in it. We're not doing that. Some of us are, but it takes more than what oh excuse me, than what we have out here. So having these conversations, I say this, at some point we gotta find a way to stop let's say the gang violence. Let's stop going here and there and, and creating situations. Everybody they gonna come. If you're out there living that life, and I done heard a gang of people say it, some of these guys on this social media, there's only two ways out of here. If you don't get it together, there's only two ways out of here. And one of them is by death, and the other one is by jail. Now let's keep it 100. Every black man ain't built for the penitentiary. Now, when you got some of them that been in there already 30, 40 years, ain't touched a woman, ain't touched no money, and they frustrated, nobody visiting, no writing, man, they see one of you young cats coming there, ain't really with it, ain't really rah-rah no more because he ain't got that pistol on his hip, he ain't got the homies, he ain't drunk, he ain't high. Reality hits, next thing you know, you're laying behind a curtain, laid up with a nigga. Some of them getting these times and sitting in front of the jail, in front of the judge, and they start crying. Come on, brothers. We really got to wake up. We really got to understand. And I say, each black man, teach a black man. Big homie, show these little young cats. They don't want to do that. They don't want to live like that. You know, we got brothers that did 40 years in jail. We got men coming home and talking about it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. And I'm taking every opportunity I get to raise my grandson. My grandson will never be nothing that I thought I was. Not that I was, that I thought I was. I'm gonna raise a young man. And in depth, this if anything, I can say I honestly broke that chain with my grandson. With my grandson. I think I did good with my boys. My boys ain't never been handcuffed. My boys ain't never got caught sagging in their pants. My sons don't wear earrings. My sons don't do jewelry. And I was strict on that. I wasn't for that. I think my boys like myself maybe got 2 or 3 tattoos. That's it. You don't have to tat your face. You don't have to put all this girls and all this on your body. Ain't necessary. One day you're gonna have to get up and go get a job. Why you want all these tattoos? That type of thing. But I admire the fact that you got men such as cartoons. You got men that can honestly say, I didn't get a paycheck for being a gang member. I can't draw social security off being a gang member. I didn't accomplish anything by being a gang member. Period. And all of us that live that life just think I can honestly say it was a waste of life for me. It was. It was a waste of time when I could have accomplished God knows what if I didn't go this route. So, you know, it's a whole bunch of us living if I would have, should have, could have. I'm past that. After 50, this other half of my life, my grandkids, my kids, my daughter, she'll be home next month, and I'm gonna invite her back to the house, her room ready for her. And what I ain't gonna do is have a jar of weed and allow her to do her. You know what I'm saying? Allow her to kick back. We got to get straight to business. Um, I want her to be productive. My daughter done been to prison more times than I went once. She went twice. Um, can I say she's the product of her mother and her father? Can. You can say that because my other 2 kids, my mothers didn't live that way. My daughter mother straight in the street, living that life, living that life. So, and she done did time in prison, a 7 and a 9 bid. Um, we just need to get better with um, raising our kids. We can get back to if you see one of your kids out there rocking with the wrong people, come here, man. Let me holler at you. That ain't what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Instead of all right, little homie, y'all handle y'all business. Come on, man. I can't encourage. We shouldn't encourage because one thing I noticed is that Floyd and George Floyd, when the police kill a black man, we enraged. We enraged. Think about it. We kill each other every day. Every day. There's no Black Lives Matter in the hood. There's no uh uh big old thing. We need to stop this. This that they we are doing all the wrong things. All the wrong things. But yet we want to put the blame on somebody else. You know, one cat told me we don't need police. Why not? If we didn't have police, it'll be chaos. It'll be worse than what it is on the street today. It'll be worse. Mama gonna love their kids. Mama gonna say what she wanna say. But at the end of the day, if your son out there shooting at the police and the police shoot back, some of us ain't skilled with the two. But we gonna pop off because it feels good. For real, for real. So we gonna do what it do. But if you lose your life in the process, then we wanna blame somebody else. But we out here living that life. Let's not live that life no more. Let's not, man, we could be black men and at peace. That gives us a better chance. That give our kids a better chance. That give our grandkids a chance to know Pawpaw. They're gonna know Granny. That gives our kids a better chance to know Pawpaw. That gives your son and daughters more time to spend with their father. We're taking ourselves out the equation and we're doing it to ourselves. Ain't no more excuses. Ain't no more this and that. And whoever don't like it, just understand it and it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's kill that part of the game and try to do better. Let's understand it. You know, um, it's so much going out there. And John, I want to send a picture. These guys in prison telling their story and be there. Talking to her daughter last night, and you know one of my closest, well, three of them was there with her, and she said to one of my sisters, "I don't have no mother. She just lost her brother last year. I don't have my daddy. My brother dead. My brother is gone. I'm almost by myself. I'm by myself." So my girl Stacy, told her the right thing. You got uncles, aunties from the bike section on that community. And the only thing I can tell her is no matter what, we got you. No matter what. So this is our reason, black men, be there for our sisters, be there for our kids, be there for something that's real, something that's worth it, something we can all understand. You know, there's a lot of us losing our life and we have children, 2-year old, my kid just 6 months, and you go out there, walk off the porch and get clipped. That's, man, our kids don't know their parents, never know their father, never know. But I'm gonna do another piece on this because it is it's so real, and I want to get cats like Melly Mel, Melly Mel, and some of these other brothers, blood sacred, to like really speak on. Nobody under 40, nobody under 50 in these conversations, like the conversation I had earlier last week. So That's where I'm at with it. And pretty much, you know, we gotta be accountable for it because in reality, it's all our fault. When we say black men, it's all our. And anybody don't agree with me, just hit me in the comments and tell me where I'm wrong or how we can do this uh, a different way. Or if you believe it'll never happen, say that. But I believe all things can be fixed. Anything on this planet can be fixed. Instead of going through this cycle we've been going through for 60 years, 70 years. So I mean it's so out of touch. It's so different now. Nothing is nothing is the same. Nobody is the same. And every year it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Period. Same way with the penitentiary. Every year it changes. Every year. You know. So come on, man. Let's get it together and let's try to lessen the blow, make it better. I know it's gonna take time. You know. Um, we can put things together to stop, to change the mindset of these young brothers out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that. And we'll get back at you later date with that. I wanted to address should. Hmm, I don't know if I should, but I've seen a piece with shout out to Nina Boy that Suge was going to court on Diddy. Have you heard anything about that, John?
I haven't. No, that he went to court recently.
No, that he's supposed to testify in court on against or whatever, allegedly.
Mm.
So I seen uh this on Nina Boy's channel, and he made a lot of key points, a lot of key points, reasons why. But I don't believe that Suge can fight his way out of the 28 years because he took a deal. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong on that. Uh, he wasn't found guilty. I don't know if he could go back on his appeal or going back on the appeal or whatever. But I don't think there's nothing Suge can say unless he just want to come clean with his conscience about whatever. But I did a Vlad interview, and Vlad asked me, "Do I believe Suge will ever go to court?" My honest opinion at that time was no. You know what I'm saying? Um, One thing I don't like the way Suge talk. I don't like the lies that Suge speak on. And you want to paint me as this bad person. Suge, when I came back from Australia, I think I sent you 300 bucks. I sold some T-shirts out there. Did some shows, and just because I sent you some money, you don't want to talk about that. You know, I didn't speak on you bad until you kept running your mouth about ounces. I don't say nothing about the things that went down. You know, I don't like that Reggie do it. You know, why keep using ounces? Shook, you already know how I feel. Reggie, you already know how I feel. So come on, Suge, Reggie, stop using bunch because a lot of it I'm hearing, man, let me tell you, my ear was to the ground when Alton um lost his life. You know, it ain't nothing to talk about. It ain't nothing to go back and forth about. And I'm like this. If ain't nothing happened in 23 years, why is everybody else worried about it? Let it be what it is. Let it stop. Stop. Let please let my brother rest. Let him rest, man. You know, death row is over with. Um, a lot of guys, or I can say none of the guys that work for death row, um, not even security, came out of death row good. He didn't have to come out rich, but in a better position. Nobody. We lost 13, 14 people. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. But they want to bring up certain names and certain this and that. Every guy that lost his life during this death row era, family looking at this. And they can't let their family just rest. Every homeboy I got on this t-shirt, let them rest, man. Let them rest. You know, Suge doing all this talking, and he doing more talking than I ever heard. But, at some point, you're going to poke the wrong bear, Suge. Stop. And I ain't going to lie to you. When you came at Reggie, man, Reggie did it. Did it. So, you know, Reggie poking back, but Reggie ain't getting it. So, me, man, I'm not worried about no dude doing 8 years. There's no need for me to raise my voice to a man that's behind bars, and I might never see him again in life. There's no need to waste the energy. Um, if she'll go to court, which it was explained to me that Diddy is waiting for his sentence, so why would she go to court? Um, I didn't look and see if that Nina Boy interview was recent or whatever. That's probably where I got caught up at. But I mean, here it is. Suge is Suge. Suge's gonna be unpredictable. Suge's gonna lie to make himself a gangster. Let me explain something to you, Suge. It's too late to build a resume. It's too late. It's too late to get anybody to put a portfolio of a gangster together for you. It's too late. You can't start now. You're 60. You can't. You can't. And I've been waiting. I want it to be understood. Sure, just do your time on the way. Do your time. Death row, that shit is over with, man. That shit is over with. Let it go. Tell the people, you had a female that they latched to your ass, and now Suge Knight went from uh never didn't smoke no type of tobacco to cigars to doing cocaine to drinking to man, you changed your life. You beat yourself. The homies didn't do that to you. You did it to yourself because you wanted to fit in. You wanted to be everything that you saw at the window. You wanted to be a part of the hood. But when you made money, man, you didn't have to do that. What I used to tell you all the time when we went up to Ruthless Records, you ain't got to do it. It's what we here for. When we was in New York, you ain't got to do it. When niggas was getting slapped on that fucking uh uh Tom Klein's business, Burn Hill Records. Sure, sit down. You ain't got to do it. But then the next thing came, your red suit. So all these things people don't know about Suge. Oh, he a writer. Oh, he this and that. Oh, Suge, man, the way this brother is, the one that be on wax, man, Suge, I can be on you just like that, and I can speak on Suge Knight. and me, our interaction. I ain't got to go to nobody else. I ain't got to speak on nobody else. I ain't got to do none of that. I have yet to hear you in your interview about how I treated you, what I took from you, what you gave me. I ain't none of that. So let's not, man, bro, stop. And you just keep on going with it. Keep on going with it. So other than that, man, I didn't want to bore y'all with the same old, same old. But, you know, you call me an alcoholic, but yet alcohol took your company from drugs, took your company from. Tell the people how many times you had to call your jeweler to the office to replace that handcuff bracelet because a female sucked you dry and you passed out and went to sleep and she took all your jewelry. She took your briefcase. Tell those stories, Mr. Knight, and I leave you alone. When I hear you tell the truth, I leave you alone. We good. Um, I had so much I wanted to cover. Um, I just got so much on my mind. Um, I see a lot of it. You know, um, and I'm only voicing my opinion. I watched a show and I seen a brother. I can't really be mad at it because I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Uh, Me and my father was not in good standing. Um, that's for another show. Uh, Me and my father went cool. Um, I knew my father didn't like me. I knew, for whatever reason. Um, you know how they say the black sheep. So let me explain why. Me and him didn't get along. And then after the incident I had with my mama, my mom's youngest son, you know, accidentally shooting him. Um, Me and him really didn't see eye to eye. So I see, but I never disrespected in public all the way till his death. I didn't want to go to his funeral. To be honest, I was young and didn't give a hoot. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to his funeral. My grandfather talked me into it. I drove to Texas. We all went, and I pretty much stayed outside. But I watched Wax podcast, and he had his father on there. Can't be mad at him how he felt about the absence of his father. The only thing I say about that is, man, it's the right time and the right place to talk to your father, not put him out there on social media. And you know, it's sad when we break down or tear down our father. And I say this because all the shit that my pops tripped on me for, all the ass whoopings, all the whoopings he gave me, everything. You know, I see some of that, the complaints that my kids had. Oh, daddy, you didn't buy me this when woo woo woo. Oh wow, I sound the same way. And it's just history repeats itself. The things that we didn't like about our parents, our kids complain about the same thing. And then their kid is going to complain about the same thing. So basically, you know, it's a way to conduct business. It's a way to conduct business. And I told Wack this one time on the phone in a conversation. All money ain't good money. Not off the backs of others. Um, whatever relationship you and your pops got, that's between y'all. And that should stay personal. But to make him look like an ass or make him feel a certain kind of way, let me strike that. And feel a certain kind of way is it might have rubbed a lot of people wrong. It might have rubbed a lot of people might have just said whack being whack. But and I'm just voicing an opinion. So you ain't gotta respond, you ain't gotta feel a certain kind of way. At this point, it is what it is, young man. Um, I can honestly say at the end of the day, I'm getting tired of I'm getting too old for and I don't have the energy to argue with grown ass men. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to debate with somebody half my age or never met me a day in their life. Never met me a day in their life. I don't have time for it. So I will say this. All the ones that do know me, stop using my grandson as an excuse. That's over. That's over. It's not a threat, nothing, but we can't use my grandson as why Mob James ain't Mob James. I said earlier, I grew up, I understand that there's a higher power. And I made my mind up to say, okay, I didn't did all the devil's work, all I could do. And he didn't pay me a dime. So anybody that feel that uh, uh, a certain kind of way because I say thank you, Jesus, in the name of Jesus, God is my savior, man, keep saying it. I ain't mad at you. You ain't gotta live this life. You ain't nobody that's giving themselves to God. You ain't gotta live that life. You can continue to live the life you live and let's see who's standing on the last day. I'm good. I'm good. So let's rock with it. Let's rock with it. I'm 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 okay. But at the end of the day, shout out to all those brothers that woke up. Shout out to the men that said my grandkids and kids more important than looking and living this kind of way. Let me sit in my rocking chair and rock my granddaughter. Let me be Papa. My kids are grown. Everything I got going to my grandkids. Let's do it. So, you know, seeing this, I'm really at ease with basically saying, you know, Bob James don't exist. I'm James McDonald. And I've been saying this for a minute. I fought with the damn. Ain't nobody understanding James McDonald. I got to go out here and be Bob James. Uh, I need some people to understand Bob James' attitude. Now, thanks to Lee Ford, thanks to Reggie, thanks to uh, my boy Chill from Chosen Few, thanks to Evil, thanks to Mooney, all of these brothers that got my back and just called. Thanks to Doug. Thanks to all these brothers that got my back and say, "Man, you done came too far to go there. Get on your knees, pray." Thanks to all those brothers, and I love every last one of you niggas. Y'all my like real friends. They say you only need two, but every man I name, and I know I missed some of y'all, but them my brothers. Those are my brothers, and I love everyone, and everyone know James McDonald, just like my James would. James McDonald gonna get up at 3 in the morning, make the phone call. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. God has soldiers, so I can still be a soldier. So all of that, with that saying, so with all that saying, man, I hear it. Wait a minute, let me say this. Everybody I listen to. I listen to Nina Boy. I listen to Compton Rick Rock. I listen to pretty much everybody. And everybody say, hit that like button and subscribe. What the hell? Is that how you get paid on here, John?
It's how you grow your channel. Yeah, if they hit the like button, it's supposed to make the video reach a wider audience, and if they subscribe, it just builds up your following to where when a video is posted, they get alerted.
Oh, I thought it was solicited. So this show y'all how out of touch I was. When I was with Gangsta Chronicles, we never had to say none of that. We never did none of that. So like why they keep saying like and subscribe? Hit that like button. I didn't know. So uh me trying to do this on my own, me trying to get it right, I gotta get comfortable like I was 2 years ago with Gangsta Chronicles. And trust me, it's gonna get better. It's gonna you know, I'm my conversation, the things in my mind is gone. I got a list of a lot of things. Uh, if anybody out there want to talk about something, I can voice my opinion on pretty much anything. I've been there, done that pretty much with any and everything. Um, you know, I learned my first time going to prison. Um, I didn't feel like I didn't want to sit no cell. I went from Avenal to Cork, Avenal CMC, Cork, and I paroled in Corcoran in '88, in 1988. So if any of you cats out there want to look that up, my number is D69667. Um, I did good for 4 years, no trouble, no nothing, and then I got caught in '92 on a case. Did 9 months. We sat there and fought it. Uh, me and my boy Ace from my neighborhood, and believe it or not, Ace was the only crime I truly had that was in the woods with me on some BS. The only crime I really had, and those that know that got away, my monkey ass got caught. Ain't nobody never went to jail. So from '92 till here I am after getting out. Um, you know, James McDonald haven't been to jail. James McDonald ain't got no crime. James McDonald is man. I had to use this living a better life. You know what I'm saying? Living a better life. I ain't never had a Fed case. I never. Um, you know, I thank God for what I've been through. And one of my partners told me, he said, Jay, if you wouldn't have started, if you wouldn't have went through all the things you went through at 12, 11, all the way up until now, you'll be lost. I'm in a better place because I went through all the ups and downs. Um, the things with my parents, the things that I went through. Um, Game bang. I've been shot on four different. I've been shot three different occasions and grazed one. So I've been in the field, but he said all the things that I went through, God put me through those things. Even sending me to the penitentiary to get me to this point. It was only up to me that I seen the lesson that I finally get it. I finally get it. I don't have to be no gangster. I'm not going to sit up here and proclaim to be uh, a Ramadan cat, a brother. I'm not going to sit here and promote things that was going on in the late 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to praise none of that. I'm not. Uh, I thank God that I finally woke up and I finally see that I can be on the this other side of the fence, a positive black man, opposed to being um, a teacher of ignorance, of violence. Period. And on that note, man, we'll come with a clip. I want you young cats to hear these guys talk. And peace out, everybody. See y'all on the flip side.
My name Eric Fuller Jr., currently incarcerated for a second-degree robbery. I went to jail at 17 years old. I'm 24 and will be 25 in January. That's 8 years of my life away from my family and the people that I love. It's an amazing feeling being a cool kid who can go wherever you please and can make friends with whoever you want. The street life is definitely a facade. What they don't tell you is the people that you enemies with in the streets are going to be the same people with your back in prison. So why experience a hellhole when you don't have to? It's okay to be who you are, be normal and enjoy life. Never live up to someone else's image. Believe in yourself. Have confidence and know everybody's journey is different. Have a purpose in life. And that purpose in life is to go be successful. Man, me, coming out of high school, 10th grade, I went to jail. And that year alone, I had 15 plus scholarships to go play Division I ball. But me, living up to this street life, this facade, thinking it's something good and cool to do, got me tied up. And I'm serving a 33-year sentence right now for this second-degree robbery. Fortunate enough, I had a family who had some little money to get me a lawyer. Now I get resentenced in December. But who wants to go through this whole hellhole and give away 8 years of their life to figure out they can go be a normal kid and do the right thing and still be successful? So with that being said, man, I hope all y'all stay safe.